Milton is the only streamlined engine on the Southern United Railroad. He can reach very high speeds and pulls the railroad's express train. Recently, Milton lost a race to Sheldon, the new Shay locomotive. It had been only because he had fell asleep in a siding due to being cocky. Larry and Christian knew this, but still made jokes. "Milton, go faster," teased Larry. "Miss Caldwell may replace you with Sheldon if you're not on time." One morning, Milton woke up. He was pretty groggy, and he saw an engine approaching the shed. When he finally got a good look at it, his eyes went wide. There was a streamlined Hudson locomotive. "Good morning, all," said the engine. "I'm Bullet." "Nice to meet you," puffed Taylor politely. "What are you doing here?" Then Miss Caldwell walked up. "Bullet is here to pull the flyer train. He's going to be our new designated engine for it." "I'm pretty sure you'll do a great job," said Ian. "Thank you," said Bullet. "I'm looking forward to working with you all." After some tests in the yard, Bullet began work on the flyer. It was a high-priority train like the Express, but with more stops. Bullet always whistled kindly to the engines as he passed by. When he saw that Milton was a fellow streamline engine, he tried his best to talk to him and to be his friend, but Milton only snubbed him. Larry and Christian saw this as a chance for mischief. One rainy, damp day, they approached Milton in the yard. "That Bullet seems pretty fast, doesn't he, Christian?" Larry said. "Oh yeah, he does," Christian replied. "You know, Milton," Larry said slyly, "Miss Caldwell and Alex might opt to replace you with another engine that looks like Bullet." "Nonsense," said Milton. "I'm faster than Bullet." "He has way more wheels and is bigger than you," said Christian. I'm not sure you can be as fast as him." "I can be faster. I will be faster. I'll show you." And Milton stormed off to collect his passenger cars. Julie puffed alongside and wasn't pleased. "It's not good that you're playing on Milton's insecurities," she said. "Insecurities?" huffed Larry. "Milton's not insecure. He's just very pompous and full of himself." "Oh, okay," said Julie, knowing she wasn't going to get through to the two engines, and simply just puffed away to pick up her train. Soon Milton was speeding down the line. "Milton, slow down. Can't you see it's raining out here?" "A little rain never hurt anyone. I have to keep my train on time." I had to admit, even for the bad weather, it was a good run. But he wrecked him to get out the hill. "The hill's coming up, the hill's coming up," Milton badgered. "More steam, more steam." The crew was getting so annoyed with Milton that they weren't concentrating when they filled his boiler. They had actually, unbeknownst to them, overfilled it. When Milton began to climb the hill, his wheels slipped furiously. "I'm slipping, driver. Do something," he demanded. The driver, who was simply fed up by this point, closed Milton's throttle, but reopened it way too quickly. The water in Milton's boiler climbed, and it jammed the throttle wide open. Milton's wheels were spinning fast, all right, but he wasn't going anywhere. "Driver, I'm slipping, he called. The driver attempted to move his reverse gear to neutral, but it jumped back and hit him in the arm. "Ouch!" he cried. Milton forgot about going fast and realized he was in real trouble. "Help! Help! Help!" he cried. "My wheels can't stop!" Milton couldn't do nothing but blow his horn in distress. Then it happened. With a loud crash, Milton's cylinder head exploded. Ah! Milton was almost crying. He was in terrible pain, but was relieved that his wheels had finally stopped turning. The tower operator at the top of the hill had seen everything. A little while later, Bullet was making his way up the hill with his train. Julie was pushing behind. The flyer didn't normally need a helper, but with the wet weather, The train operator thought it would be safe to have one. Milton was embarrassed when he saw Bullet puff alongside him. Bullet looked terribly concerned when he saw the damage to Milton's valve gear and cylinders. After Julie helped the flyer to the top of the hill, she turned on the loop and coupled to the back of the express, and very gently pulled it back to Denville. Milton was left in a siding. Samaya was called in to take his train instead. Milton waited in the rain all day. It wasn't until the weather cleared up and the sun began to show a little that Michelle arrived with a local train to pick him up and take him to the works. Miss Caldwell was on board. I have never, in all my years of working on a railroad, seen a locomotive break a speed record sitting still. Milton said nothing. Milton, how could you be so careless? Not only have you damaged your valve gear and your cylinders and one of your drive wheels, but now your driver has to go to the hospital. What do you have to say for yourself? I'm sorry, Milton said, in a voice so low Michelle or Miss Caldwell couldn't even hear him. Michelle added Milton to her local train and took him to Harmon. She dropped him off in the work shed and then continued back to South Plainsville. That evening, Milton got a surprise visitor. It was Bullet. Milton, how are you doing? He asked. You're really going to ask me that question? You saw me on the hill. Bullet just brushed off the blunt reply. How did that happen? He asked. Milton decided to pluck up courage. I was trying to be faster than you. At first, I was the only streamlined engine here. And then you show up. I was scared you were going to take my place. What put that idea in your head? Asked Bullet. Milton explained about his race with the Shea locomotive and about Larry and Christian's teasing. Well, I'll tell you what, Bullet reassured. I'm not here to take your place at all. I'm here to do my job, not to take yours. Milton managed to crack a smile. Thank you for coming to see me. No problem, smiled Bullet. I couldn't see you that devastated and not come see you. With Milton in for repairs, Scion was pulled off the coastline to take the flyer, while Bullet pulled Milton's express. Also, he, along with Julie, scolded Larry and Christian for their teasing of Milton. The two ashamed engines promised they'd apologize to Milton the first chance they got. When Milton was released from the works, Miss Caldwell put him on local passenger trains until he could be trusted again with the express. Milton, surprisingly, was impressed with how Bullet handled his express. Soon, Milton was calling Bullet his friend. This made Bullet happy. It makes sense they would be. Streamlined engines must stick together. Don't you agree?